Hi everyone and welcome back to Gears at the SimRacing podcast to talk about the latest SimRacing news and of course more mods and videos from the community. But before, we always have to talk about this one. If you love potatoes and you love Daytona, this is your event. POTAYTONA on 9th of March will counting with more than 10 hours of iRacing, over 15 teams, a lot of gifts from the best brands and of course the best sim racers in YouTube and a huge proud community. Lawrence was and the Potato Nation are organizing one of the best, if not the best event of this year and help young drivers to achieve the dream of having a seat on motorsport. So please join them on the link that I'm gonna leave behind, and of course remember, donating you are entering on the crazy gifts and you know probably gonna be your luck and you are making part of something amazing that is giving opportunity to young drivers having a seat on motorsport. Sim racing news are going completely crazy and I'm trying to read here and understand because it's so many crazy things happen from the good and the bad parts. First, rain on iRacing will be on the talks for a long period of time, I think more than the 4 weeks until the season 2, but of course you're gonna have the Nordchelife to talk and some interesting small news that I've been found out. So it's no surprise that introduction of rain in iRacing will bring always a lot of debatable. First is the iRating. Other question is if it's part of the sim racing world or not, if you're gonna be using, if you're gonna appear so much as we intended. So a lot of things too unclear and or gonna be clear on the future. Suelio Almeida make a great video and Game Muscle where they dissect a little bit what is happening or what could be happening. While Suelio Almeida take a very clear approach and explain that we're gonna have to adapt ourselves to what's gonna happen with the raining. We're gonna have to change our racing lines. We're gonna have to know where is the best racing line or not. We're gonna adapt ourselves to the normal racing, and that is what should be. In terms of Gamer Muscle, he brings something really interesting, that is the tire and the tire temperatures. He's really aware of something that I quite agree. So in terms of iRacing, the temperatures or when the tire is too hot or the temperature on the tarmac is hot, the car tend to behave not so real. I'm not a big iRacing player, I don't play so much iRacing, but it's something that, I'm not a professional driver, so it's a little bit difficult to say if it's correct or not, but I take my ways on Gamer Muscle because he is quite interesting in what he say. Other thing that he's defending and is correct is the cold tires behave much better on iRacing, and this one come already from talkings with professionals where they say the same thing, so props to Gamer Muscle to bring that. And he say something very clever, so if with rain the tires automatic should be more cold and that should provide a closer interaction with the tarmac, probably offering a very authentic experience. So if it's true or not, let's see, but one thing that you have to be aware is what's gonna happen. So one of the things is, we know sim racers are a lot of the mechanic behavior, so we know where we need to brake, we know how to adapt, and we have that memory muscle always working. In terms of the real racing, that's not happening. We have to adapt ourselves to the constant something changing, the temperatures changing, the tracks are changing even from interaction with the interaction. So it's kind of cool see now how we're gonna adapt, if the faster sim racers will be fast on the rain and will they adapt very good, or if the faster sim racers are just guys that have the hit repeat type of training and they are really good because they are repeating and doing better and try to achieve better sometimes without understanding where is the racecraft. Something that probably can take a deeper talk or more things to talk, but let's see what to do. One of the things important is the endurance races that will be where the rain will shine, will provide probably one of the best testing grounds for these dynamics. I think over the next 4 weeks, rain will slowly graduate, integrate in the sim, will post challenge as we know, and probably will bring some unpredictable. However, I think iRacing is very aware where he say this weather prediction system and the tempest, that is what they call it, to the rain, will be steady completing with what happening on the track climate pattern. So we're not going to see raining all the time and we'll not see raining forecast predicted 100%. So it will be something that will go on the percentages and we will be aware or not. So one of the things is a spotter that will talk to us that is coming some clouds, I will expressing is getting over cloud or rain will be 80% possibility, so we will not know, but that will be something really interesting to see. And of course, like I told you already, the iRacing main categories will plan and expand gradually. Initially will be only 14 cars with 11 endurance series, and I think is one of the best ways to jump straight away to the best cars, or the cars that people drive more, instead of doing and bring to all the cars. Indeed, this update is not only about rain and have something really interesting. For me, is a new way of display, a new HUD. I think that will bring a revamp to a sim that keep progressing. We know that iRacing will not come very near with a new game. They will keep progressing and bringing that longevity and modernity to the title. I think is really good, and I think embraces that continuity of bringing fresher experience. And probably for the people that are jumping now, they're gonna have a very fresh new sim. For the people that use iRacing, they're gonna have like a new installment on a game, and probably will bring something good. But let's check what the game will bring too. So we're gonna new tracks and cars. The ladder 3 to 4 is to participate on the game now. We know that is like a Super Formula Light and the Euro Formula Open. Is quite a good car that will bring some level now before you want to jump on the F317, or if you want to jump on the Super Formulas. So it's quite interesting, and is a car that was renaming on the GP3 series or F3. For more updates on the car will be the SRX car micro sprint, with some changes on the physics of the NASCAR Cup series, as we were expecting, IndyCar and Xfinity cars. These are cars that now iRacing detain the license, so will be something expected, and I think this dynamic will reflect a little bit more what is the real world and what iRacing wants to do with the series, that make all the sense to be on them. New tracks are gonna have Misano World Circuit Marco Simoncelli, Autódromo Internacional do Algarve, Millbridge Speedway, Dirt Oval, and 4 new tracks: Snerten Circuit, Circuit Leblon, Winter Motor Raceway, and the crazy German Oscherleben, that will be available for everyone. I think this is a very good thing. And of course, before we close the segment of iRacing, talking about that change inside of the road license into separate categories, the Formula and the Sport cars. I think is clear what you're gonna say. This segment is, if you are a more fan of sports cars, your rating gonna be more on that part. So I think is reflecting the specific skills and experience requirement, and this shift maintain a clean driving record, becoming a paramount on races in different series. And I think now is gonna be having a good impact of safe rating. I think we need to talk about Forza Nordchelife. This is a difficult topic to start talking, but Nordchelife and Forza Forza already left me without words. It's a game that itself is screaming for attention. I think the game is dying before we arrive, and we need to say that. We need to take that elephant on the room. I think the game is on a big decline. I know they try to save it with changing now the way that the cars are upgrading. Instead of you grind to get more upgrades, or you need to pass 4 hours driving the car to get some upgrades, now you can use the Forza points. It's something interesting, but still the bugs that they try to recover on the PC, still some of there. I think that people are already fed up with that, and with LFM on Assetto Corsa, I think Forza is dying. But let's see what they bring on this last update. So we know that Nordchelife is there, and we will talk about it. But now we have 5 cars. Two of them are the M2 2023 and the Porsche Cup. The cars look really nice, and these 2 new cars are, we can say, they are completely made by scrap. So they are nothing portable or port from other games. But the next 3, they are completely ported from Forza 7, and that is, we can see on the way that visuals and everything. I think we are in 2024, so Forza keep doing something like this is a little bit strange, and I don't know why they doing this, because it's just killing the game. I know the cars are already on Forza Horizon, so people can say that they are portable from Forza Horizon. Could be possible, but I feel that even the cars that are on Forza Horizon 5, they are ported from Forza Horizon 3 and Forza Horizon 4. So that is a little bit leave to you on the comments to let me know what you think it. But let's talk about Nordchelife. We have a lot of videos on the community coming about that, and great videos. We have Overtaking make a video, Random Call Sign, Jardier comment a little bit about it, and you have positive feedback from, for example, RF12, where he's praised and charmed. Kireth have some peculiar details where he's going ramble about the spectators that I don't know when he was driving on Gran Turismo if it was on time trial or was on race. I presume it was on time trial, so we know that it's not spectators. That was like when you play old football games, you know, we could put the standing people on the standings or not. So that is a rumble that don't make any sense. So I think that is not what put the game apart or not, if the game is good or the Nordchelife is very well portrayed on the game, if you have spectators or not. But everyone have their own feelings. In terms of the Overtake, Jardier and Random Call Sign, they bring a lot of great points. Random Call Sign speak a lot about the trees. He claimed that the trees are the worst trees in all the sim racing games. I can see where he came at, because I don't play so much Forza, but you see on the videos that Forza is... the trees are not there. Automobilista 2 have better trees. Automobilista 2 portrayed a very Nordchelife than the Forza, and from the videos that I saw people play, you can see that the dimensions of the track are not correct. The dimensions between spectators, if you are seeing the spectators, or for example from the barriers to the track, sometimes are bigger than should be. You see that the elevations are not correct. You see that the curves are higher where they should be. So I don't know if they use old Nordchelife or if they didn't laser scan it and just try to deliver something very, very fast to try to bring more people to Forza. So is a little bit, I would say, inaccurate what we want to know or what Forza tried to do, but he's really, really bad. I have to take my head to Overtake, Jardier and Random to say the truth. The track is bad, and let now expecting if Assetto Corsa Competizione will deliver a better track, and I expect them to deliver a better track because it's 2024. Nobody should disrespect Green Hell. Le Mans Ultimate. I know that when I'm recording this one, the game's just been delivered. I have played the game for half an hour, 45 minutes maximum. I didn't play it at home, so it's a little bit different because I have a ultra-wide monitor OLED, so I don't know if the quality graphics will affect too much. I'm driving with a 4090, so on the shop where we was training, it was not a 4090, it was most lower graphic card. So I will try and check on the next days when I have time. But the game portrayed very good. I think the sound was amazing. In terms of cars and tracks mix, I think it's really, really positive for the price that you pay. Remember that this is an early release game, so will be a lot of mistakes, but I think Motorsport and the Studio 397 are trying to deliver something good, and with a very good curiosity for me is the EABs. So let me explain to you what is EABs. In essence, EABs is a post-effect system that reverts in promise of delivering the cutting-edge CGI lighting effects and optical expressions. So it's a system that offers a vast array of optical and light enhancement, and that you can see that is a big evolution from R Factor 2 to what is here in terms of Le Mans Ultimate. I think I try Fuji on the rain or slightly rain. I try a little bit of zebraing, but the wheel was not very well setting on that time, so I was not feeling any force feedback, so I could not understand very much how was the car, but was a GTE, the Ferrari one, after we tried the hypercars with the Porsche, Ferrari, and of course, I don't know if you can see the LMP2 from United Autosport. That is one of, for me, the most beautiful cars that we have, and I think they nail it on terms of graphic, they nail it on terms of sound. Is really, really good, and I really enjoy it. And of course, let's see what is coming for the future. You know that IMCA probably will not come yet, but Asian Cup or Asian Endurance Cup will come. The European Le Mans will come too. The 2024 is coming. I think they just need to sell to bring some income, and with that income be able to produce much more. So the things are there for sure, and I think there is a game that will surprise us on the next couple of months. I will not say next 2-3 months, but on the next couple of months. And it's the early stage game, of course, was bought not way is what happening with the Range Sport, as you know, that you have the beta keys for free. So this is a different part, and in the early stage, I know that Assetto Corsa competition didn't went very well. On that time, I was not so much in terms of sim racing on PCs. I was more on consoles and playing Gran Turismo and Project Cars 2 and these type of things. So the effects that we saw, or the community saw in the Assetto Corsa competition, is completely different from what I understand is coming now, and is really, really interesting. But now let's jumping into small news that are captivating my eyes. First, F124. Yes, you are very well. May 31st will be, according with the news, the release of the new installment of the F1. The game is done by Codemaster and EA Sport. It's not too soon or too early, but let me break down, because I think 100% is raising some flags. First, is no new calendar tracks. So, of course, on terms of tracks, they don't need to delay the game for nothing. And of course, they are eager to releasing the game for two big points. First of all is F123 is suffering a little bit for what's happening with the sim racing events, and the community is a little bit fed up with some mistakes on, of course, and is going down. I'm not saying for Codemaster, but I'm saying for EA Sport, because you can see that they trend to sink in somehow, and they are sunk a little bit in different franchises. You see the football is not FIFA, is EA FC or something like this, and the community around the game are very, very keen and prone to talk what is wrong with the game, where they try to push a lot of microtransactions, something that is not happening with the Codemaster title, but we can see that they try to rush, or because they need the numbers and they need the sales, or because they don't want to deliver any new, instead of just put some new skins and new little updates on the cars, that they don't need to deliver nothing special, so they just rush the game. But the game prices are really, really scary. So if you are on PC, hear the drums, yeah, £60 for a new F124, £90 or €90 or £80 if you want the Champion Edition. And if you are on consoles, put €10 or £10 more on the game. For €100, having a Champion Edition of a game that come completely with for €100, having the same game with the different layouts on the cars or new skins, I don't think it's the best approach, and sound a little bit like a robbery in terms of that. Iracing Exocross Off-Road Racer is shooting for July-August, and the game looks good, but I think the best thing is jumping on the link that I'm going to leave you from Overtake, because the guys made a great interview with them and they know what they're talking. I'm not so aware of the game, I didn't try the game yet, so I think the best thing is to give a look on what they say. Free mods for these days are for Assetto Corsa, as always, Nissan Z GT 500 and of course a Ferrari 250 Lusso. The first one, the Nissan Z GT, is a great car. I think it's based on the Nissan GT Sport and competes on the Super GT series in Japan. It is a car with 650 brake horsepower, downforce and grip, great for community and league races, and a car that I really enjoy driving. Is, like I say, a bridge between, remember that nostalgia from Super GTs from the past, and of course bring us that Gran Turismo 2 vibes. The next one is a mod that was released on October, so released already a long time ago. They have a slightly new update, and is the Ferrari 250 GT Lusso. I really enjoy it because it's a classic sports car, a car that I enjoyed to drive a little bit on Gran Turismo when you have the coins. 240 horsepower V12, proper immersion in royalty and car. I think is just not a Assetto Corsa mod to be driving around. If you like this type of cars, classic cars, I think put a 60, 70 truck, jump on there, enjoy it, because it's a really, really funny car. And if you have that long races or the long mods on Assetto Corsa, you know, like California one, jump, drive the car, because you're gonna really enjoy the car. But let me say this one, if you feel that you want to be part of the podcast, you know, it's a podcast that we don't make so much money. No, it's always to try to support the other ones. But if you want to, if you feel that you are a big if you feel that you can co-host with me some of the sim racing news, I'm always looking for people, so give me a shout and probably we can see you on the other side of the camera. See you guys on next episode.